Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WIC Southeast 17th Annual Red Letter Awards. I'm Renita Griscoll, president of the WIC Southeast chapter. I'm so honored to be here with you. The Red Letter Awards is our signature annual event, and this year we are celebrating our 40th anniversary as a WIC chapter. We started 2020 with a lot of plans, as many of you likely did as well. We were looking forward to seeing all of you in person this year at the Georgia Aquarium for the Red Letter Awards, but COVID-19 forced us to change our plans and make adjustments. So here we are at our first virtual Red Letter Awards. As we get started with the program to honor 7 amazing women for their tremendous accomplishments, I want to tell you a little bit about WIC, Women in Cable Telecommunications. WIC's mission is to create women leaders who transform our industry. WIC does this by offering professional development programs to its members across the globe. The partnership with cable and technology companies has developed strong pipelines of women leaders. WIC follows 7 touchstones of leadership. They act as a guide to creating initiatives and programs for a global organization as well as all the chapters. The touchstones are know yourself and what you stand for and where you are headed. Communicate with passion and poise in writing and in person. Listen with more than just your ears. Be a catalyst and set the wheels of change in motion. Be fearless and confident in your conviction as you take risks and bring others along. Inspire and others will follow. And the Southeast chapter's touchstone for this year, connect to your peers, your industry, and everything around you. We are definitely putting that touchstone to the test as we're creating unique ways to connect with you virtually and celebrate our Ruby anniversary. The women who led the charge to create this chapter 40 years ago were catalysts and fearless. They knew that change was needed in the industry, and they took action to make that happen. We honor the many women who have come before us to build WIC from the ground up at the national and local levels. 3 of those women, Gail Summersheim, Jill Slavin, and Terry Thompson, join us now to share their journeys. And following their messages, we'll hear from WIC President and CEO, Maria Brennan.
I am so grateful for the opportunity to celebrate the amazing 40 years of WIC and reminisce about WIC's impact on my career and my life. Thank you to Gail Summersheim, who along with Lucille Larkin had the brilliance and drive needed to create and shepherd WIC. What a difference you made in the industry and to so many women. I heard an axiom early in my career that for me embodies WIC. The axiom was that people yearn to be appreciated for their individual contributions and want and need to be part of something larger than themselves. That has been my experience. My involvement started with a very simple invitation at an Atlanta chapter event when greeted by the Atlanta president who said, "Here is someone we would really like to get involved." That simple, flattering invitation triggered my volunteer work, a way to contribute individually, and I acquired skills that weren't afforded to me yet by my day job. And the other piece that was illuminated for me was about the why of this organization, the need to develop and support women leaders in the industry. That, for me, was the call to something bigger than myself. And it crystallized for me passion for working on women's issues, leadership, and supporting career growth. I did get very involved in committee work, chair of membership, programming, and to the president of the Atlanta chapter, which led to national exposure and more opportunity. The Atlanta chapter has always been known as a can-do place, and we were asked to develop the national conference. Jill Slavin and I co-chaired that event, and I can tell you we were stretched and we were amazed at what we could do and the outcome. This led to more national committee and board roles and work, and I became the national president the year WIC was turning 10 years old. The highlights of my year as president: we developed a strategic plan, which stood the test of many, many years. And Gail and I landed on the cover of the industry's premier trade magazine. And the story was about WIC's history and what it was achieving in the industry. WIC had arrived at a new level of service and impact. The work was resonating in the industry, and with that, 2 major financial gifts came to seed programs. The first came from Glenn Jones, CEO of Jones Intercable, and the second from Bob Magnus, which was used to create the Betsy Magnus Leadership Institute. For me, the last 10 years, my contribution has been in recruiting the marvelous Maria Brennan to the organization, an amazing leader who brought WICT to yet new heights. And I remain involved as a speaker at the conference and at BMLI, meeting with each new class over the last 6 years. What a joy it has been to continue to meet the women who, along with their companies, are committed to their leadership development. And what's ahead for WICT? Clearly, we've come a very long way from that small band of women led by Gail. There are many more women in senior leadership roles. We are in a different place, but the work is not done. WICT will continue to lead and push the industry to invest in women's leadership and development, and I know that experience will be returned tenfold. Thank you to WICT for igniting my passion for women's issues and providing such a vehicle to contribute to something much bigger than myself. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gail Summersheim, founding president of Women in Cable. I know it's hard to imagine today, but there was a time in the cable industry when there were fewer women in management than are participating in this meeting today. And believe me, we all felt underappreciated, blocked from our career aspirations, and even downright lonely at times. However, we had all gravitated to cable because it was a fast-moving industry with a heavy need for people who really wanted to give it their all. Opportunity definitely existed, but not for women, unless there was a way to change the mindset of the male-only management team that ran the business back then. Under the encouragement of Lucille Larkin, who was with the NCTA in the late 70s, a group of us women had started getting together at industry functions. And Lucille really wanted this to become an organization, a professional society for women in cable. But it just wasn't happening. So finally, one day I said to her, look, forget the committees, let's just do it. Let's write the bylaws, name a board, put it together, put it out there. If women join, it will be great. If they don't, we can just sort of fade away. And so, of course, she said, would you be the first president? I said, sure, happy to, not realizing that I was committing myself to 20 years of hard work, effort, and determination. But now, when I look back on those years between 1980 and my retirement from HBO in 2001, I have to say that whatever contribution I made towards empowering women in cable was absolutely the best thing I've ever done in my life. Last year, I went to WIC's 40th anniversary luncheon in New York. There were a number of past presidents there, dignitaries, but what impressed me the most were the 3 featured speakers, young, ambitious women who were really going for it. They talked a lot about their opportunities, but also about the difficulties of things like childcare, maternity leave, and they challenged, really demanded of the industry and its leaders and the organization that we keep making this a better place for women, providing more opportunity for all employees. They obviously felt secure and confident that they were as qualified and entitled as anyone else to go as far as they wanted to go in this life. And I said to myself, Lord, look how far we've come. When I first started selling WIC to the CEOs of this industry, all male of course, I didn't dare use words like empower, break the glass ceiling, change the industry. All we were going to do was educate and support women. Fortunately, it took those CEOs many years to figure out what we were really up to. Today, it's not a matter of if you can have an education or the career you want. You definitely can. WIC and thousands of women have paved the way for you to do so. You are, however, still a minority. Still the primary caregivers of young and old. Still subject to prejudice and profiling. There's still work to be done, but from everything I've seen from this chapter and the others, you are certainly up to the task. 40 years ago, a few women believed that we could make the world a better place for women. And thanks to all of you, we did.
I was so pleased to be asked to reminisce with you. It gives me a chance to thank this marvelous organization. WIC gave me opportunities, confidence, and skills starting 40 years ago, which I continue to carry in my toolbox today. It's not an exaggeration to say that without WIC, I would be an entirely different person and my life would be far less interesting. I turn 80 this year, and I still use the negotiation skills I learned at the feet of my wily mentor, Gail Sermershine. The last time WIC asked me to give a 3-minute speech, I was given a lovely piece of crystal from Tiffany and the national presidency. I'll tell you about that later. As a result, I was almost magically elevated to a position with leadership opportunities that I had not yet earned at HBO. Recognizing this, I spent my year as president looking for ways to pass this on to other women. And thus, the Betsy Magnus Leadership Institute and the Past President's Council were born. BMLI was a tiny idea outlined on a half a page of a legal pad traveling to a board meeting, but it was executed magnificently by a talented committee under the leadership of Diane Blackwood. And wow, look what you all made of it. I decided to use my time to talk about the environment that spurred the founding of WIC in 1980 and continues to make WIC necessary today. Yup, wait for it, feminism. I'll be using the words men and women and assuming a nuclear family. It's not inclusive, and I know better, but 3 minutes is 3 minutes. I love what WIC and all professional women have accomplished, but it makes me sad to realize that the same prejudices women fought against in 1960, 4 generations ago, have not yet been resolved. But for the first time, I am hopeful that we may get there, and it is your industry that can make this possible. A benefit of the last 4 chaotic years is that many women's issues have been brought out of the dark. You are standing on the shoulders of 4 generations of women who have opened doors and smashed glass ceilings for you. You are talented leaders, and you hold a very powerful media megaphone. You must use it aggressively to change the culture for yourselves and for your daughters and for their daughters. To be a feminist is to recognize that we're not there yet and to keep looking for ways to make it happen. It's not just getting your share of the goodies in the workplace. Men must step up and take on real responsibility outside the workplace. And that goes both ways. Women are perfectly capable of carrying out the garbage. That first 3-minute speech I told you about was to accept WIC's Life Balance Award. It was about having it all, but that's really not the issue. It's not a question of whether a woman can have it all. Nobody talked about whether men could have it all. They already had more than their share of the goodies with less responsibility at home. It's a power issue, and nobody likes to give up power. But it's women like you with an organization like this one that can make it happen.
Thank you for such inspiring words and for creating a legacy of inspirational leadership for so many in the WIC Southeast chapter. You're part of a pivotal group of women and men that helped put WIC on the map some 40 years ago, and each of you helped keep us there today. You demonstrate that WIC is many things to many people, though one common thread connects us, our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm honored to join you almost live for the Red Letter Awards as we pay tribute to the WIC Southeast chapter and the indelible mark your chapter has made on our industry for 4 decades. Before we dig in, I want to acknowledge the tremendous efforts of your chapter as you navigate this global health pandemic. You've successfully pivoted during this unprecedented time, and you've been right there alongside WIC's headquarters team, moving your live events to virtual and offering new leadership opportunities along the way. I'm so proud and humbled by your resolve. That resolve is not new to WIC. It was back in 1979 when a small group of forward-thinking women came together with an idea to form Women in Cable. And the following year, a chapter formed in Atlanta, now known as the Southeast Chapter. Congratulations on your Ruby anniversary and on this year's awards program. Few would have guessed, by those seeds planted 4 decades ago, that we would grow into this flourishing organization that WIC is today. It goes to prove when smart and ambitious women get together, the possibilities are limitless. Today, WIC is a global entity of over 10,000 members, almost 1,000 of them inside your chapter alone, with 23 other domestic and international chapters, including in the UK, Latin America, and Amsterdam, and we continue to grow. However, even with our growth, by no means is our work here done. Far from it. In this era of social turmoil, the value of an organization like ours, one that steadfastly promotes equity, remains increasingly relevant to our members, our communities, and the industry at large. We've been striving for equal for more than 4 decades, and we vow our ongoing support in the quest to achieve it for all people. Not more, not less, equal. After all, it's quite simply the law of the land. So there's a time to be somber and a time to celebrate. Today, at these Red Letter Awards, let's celebrate. Each of the honorees represents all that is right and all that is well in this industry, and that is hopeful for us today, tomorrow, and the future. We have much to appreciate as we look back on 40 years of commitment to women and to WIC. So take a bow and enjoy this moment. All of us at WIC Global are so proud of what you do and are honored to stand beside you today, tomorrow, and for the next 40 years and beyond. Thank you, and now let's get on with the show.
Thank you, ladies, for such an amazing tribute to our 40 years, and to Maria for your words of welcome. And to those of you sharing this evening with us from home, it is such a pleasure to be with you all tonight. This evening is very special as we come together to honor our amazing award winners. Congratulations to our honorees. We are proud to celebrate your accomplishment and leadership. Although I am this year's Red Letter Awards director, it truly takes a village to organize this event, and I'm particularly glad to have worked closely with Jamette, Shelley, Janine, and Renita on the details that make this event so special. Additionally, I would like to express my gratitude to all of our volunteers, judges, and board members who worked on this year's Red Letter Awards. Thank you to each of you for making this evening truly memorable for us all. And to our sponsors, we could not have done any of this without your generous support. Thank you. Don't forget to spread the word on social media about tonight's event using hashtag 2020RLA. Without further ado, allow me to introduce tonight's MC, Blaine Alexander. Blaine Alexander is an Atlanta-based correspondent for NBC News and MSNBC, where she reports for all platforms, including NBC Nightly News, Today Show, and MSNBC. During her time with the network, she has been at the forefront of some of the biggest stories in recent history, including the COVID-19 pandemic, protests around racial injustice, and the death of Congressman John Lewis. Blaine previously spent 2 years as a Washington correspondent for NBC News Channel, where she covered the White House, Washington politics, and the historic Trump-Kim summit in Singapore for NBC affiliate stations nationwide. Before joining NBC News Channel, Blaine spent 6 years as a reporter and anchor with Atlanta's NBC affiliate 11 Alive News. A 4-time Emmy Award nominee, Blaine traveled the world to cover major events, including the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, unrest in Ferguson and Baltimore, and the 50th anniversary of Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama. Blaine began her reporting career at WRDW-TV in Augusta, Georgia. Her work has been honored by the Atlanta and National Associations of Black Journalists. In 2016, Blaine received the annual Rising Star Award for the Atlanta Press Club. In 2015, Blaine and her husband, James Bailey, founded the Phoenix Leadership Foundation, an Atlanta-based nonprofit providing positive role models and exposure for young people in struggling communities. Born and raised in Oklahoma City, Blaine is a graduate of Duke University and a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority and the National Association of Black Journalists. It is a pleasure to have Blaine with us tonight. Please join me in welcoming Blaine Alexander.
Crystal, thank you so much, and good evening to you. I want to thank the WIC Southeast chapter for having me as their MC for this year's amazing award ceremony. I'm truly honored to be among such a phenomenal group of talented, influential leaders who truly personify the WIC Southeast 2020 touchstone, connect to your peers, your industry, and everything around you. You know, connect is such a strong word. Of course, it means to unite or bind, and I'm sure that throughout this evening, you're going to hear a theme of the presentations of the WIC Southeast chapter, how it works to unite the women of this industry, and how the ties that created here help women grow and flourish in their careers and beyond. Of course, connections can come from many different places, from your children, teachers, colleagues, friends, even strangers. And the honorees tonight have all been identified as women who have grown in the industry and been a shining example to those around them. They've built strong networks of connections that have allowed them to make strides in their careers and cascade positive change throughout this dynamic industry. Their example is a shining light of how intentional and even random connections are paramount in facilitating one's dreams and can provide for both growth, personal and professional.
Established in 1980 as one of WIC's first local chapters, WIC Southeast has expanded to more than 1,000 members, representing more than 70 cable media and telecommunications companies and 15 universities. With membership open to women and men in the industry, we create bold, self-empowered leaders through advocacy and leadership training. WIC's mission is to develop women leaders who transform our industry by providing relevant professional development programs like the Betsy Magnus Leadership Institute, Rising Leaders Program, the WIC Leadership Conference, Senior Executive Summit, and so many others. WIC Southeast is proud to offer our members free career-enhancing leadership development events in Atlanta, Knoxville, Nashville, and Birmingham, as well as distance learning, mentoring programs, and the opportunity to connect with leaders and peers throughout the region and internationally.
From webinar series empowering attendees to develop their leadership skills and business acumen, to a fun, social happy hour stirring things up by socializing, talking, interacting, and remembering, WIC Southeast is committed to staying connected to people and things that matter most. The WIC Southeast touchstone for 2020 is connect to your peers, your industry, and everything around you. With that touchstone in mind, our chapter launched an outreach initiative collaborating with Feeding America for a hunger-free America by giving back to those impacted by coronavirus. Together, we provided 23,610 meals for those in need through Feeding America network of food banks, including those in Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee.
Historically, our chapter is proud to offer our memberships a mix of in-person and virtual events in each of our markets. As previously mentioned, our events focus on developing business acumen and professionalism while encouraging meaningful connections and the discussion of issues that are important and relevant to all of us. Although 2020 has been fundamentally different from any year in our history due to COVID, as well as various social issues, the need for connections and intellectual growth has become more important than ever. WIC Southeast has shifted wholly to virtual events, and during the second quarter of the year, we offered a series of intimate events focused on subject matters like resiliency, motivations, staycations, and personal finance, subjects that address self-care and agility. In early September, we hosted an event focused on Black Lives Matter movement to share knowledge and promote awareness. Over 400 people attended this event virtually, coming together with open minds and open hearts to learn, discuss, and acknowledge the importance of this event, the movement, its history, and its impact.
This year has been tough, but it has been meaningful and has been proof of our resilience and ability to care for one another. As we looked forward to the remainder of 2020 and on to 2021, we are excited to offer more programming and more opportunities for our members to connect. Upcoming events include Tech It Out, sponsored by Comcast, one of our partner companies, Speed Mentoring, and an event focused on the LGBTQ community in partnership with the Georgia Diversity Council. Planning for 2021 is well underway, and we cannot wait to share more information with you.
As always, a huge thanks to our partners, our members, and our volunteers for your support and engagement. Stay tuned and stay healthy.
Hello, I'm Judy Train, Vice President of Learning and Workforce Capability at Cox Communications. Cox is thrilled to be a sponsor of WICT. Our purpose statement reads, to empower people to build a better future for the next generation. Supporting the WICT organization, we believe, fits squarely with that purpose statement. Whether it's regional speed networking events, national conferences, or intense development programs, WICT offers a variety of programs to develop the female leaders of the future. Over its 40-year history, it's been instrumental in changing leadership within the cable industry. I personally have benefited from WICT's many unique programs, building lifelong connections and friends at conferences and development programs, as have many of my colleagues. But it's not just the connections that make WICT so beneficial. The opportunities they provide to women in the industry to develop and grow their talents and their voices are as critical now as they were 40 years ago when WICT was created. I'm honored to represent Cox as a proud sponsor of WICT Southeast. Thank you so much for all that you do for women in the industry.
And now for this evening's award presentations. Our first category is the Rising Star Award for Emerging Leaders. This award recognizes women who show potential to be influential leaders both within their organization and within the cable telecommunications industry. And tonight we're very fortunate to have not just one, but two amazing award winners in this category. So please join me as we congratulate our first Rising Star Award winner of the evening, Christina Stafford Kelly, Senior Director and Head of Public Relations for Up Entertainment LLC.
Thank you so much, WICT, for this incredible honor. And congratulations to my fellow Red Letter Award recipients. It's a pleasure to be in your company. I've had a passion for the entertainment industry since I was in middle school, watching Entertainment Tonight after dinner with my mom and dad. In high school, my parents took me to LA on spring break to see Hollywood for the first time. My mom says she knew I had the entertainment bug when we were on the 405, and I said, wow, this is all so beautiful. And it was the highway, covered in graffiti, while we sat bumper to bumper. The rest is history. I moved to LA immediately after college. I feel so incredibly blessed to be able to work in an industry I love, doing what I love, working with so many brilliant and creative colleagues. This has been a big year, both professionally and personally. In February, I became a mom. Each day brings the most amazing moments, albeit often experienced while sleep deprived. But seeing the wonder through my daughter's eyes has been so joyous. I've been listening to a lot of childhood classic songs with her. The one that's been on repeat is Rainbow Connection from the Muppets. My Rainbow Connection brings such fulfillment and joy to my life. Much like rainbows, dreams and possibilities are never ending. There's always an opportunity to learn and grow and look for many connections to help achieve those dreams. For me, those connections are our viewers, my colleagues, and family. As the head of PR at Up Entertainment, I manage the overall communications strategy for 3 very distinct brands: Up TV, Up Faith and Family, and Aspire TV. Since each of these networks target completely different audiences, I'm always able to work on something new, a new outlet, a new voice, a new way to reach a viewer. Every day I get to be creative and tap into a different growth opportunity. I'm proud of the diversity of our programming and our audiences. Thank you to Up's founder and CEO, Charlie Humbard, and the rest of the executive team for the nomination and for believing in me. Thank you to my wonderful Up TV and Aspire colleagues for your support. Working with such smart, creative, and thoughtful people is something I don't take for granted. Thank you for setting the bar so high. The next connection is industry peers. In addition to participating in the wonderful events put on by WICS Southeast, I also had the opportunity to take part in the WIC Rising Leaders program. I still keep in touch with my classmates, and I'm so thankful for such a smart, motivated group of women to lean on. As a member of the Television Academy and Public Relations Peer Group, I've helped select college students to receive a coveted PR internship as part of the TV Academy's summer internship program. In addition, I'm proud of the relationship I have with my alma mater, the University of Georgia. I like to look for opportunities to help those who share my passion for PR, so I eagerly signed up as a mentor when UGA launched their new mentor program a few years ago. I also worked with our HR team to bring UGA's Intern for a Day program to Up Entertainment, where students came to the office to learn about various departments at the network, including on-air, marketing, and programming, and to hear directly from various leaders about what it took to get to that position. I still keep in touch with a lot of those students and answer any questions they have as they follow their dreams and transition into the start of their careers. Thank you to the mentors I have had along the way. Thank you for taking the time to coach me, share with me, and help shape the person I am becoming. Some of these incredible people I've had as mentors, I have watched come before me and accept Red Letter Awards in years past. I know how much they've achieved and how inspiring these women are, so it is a dream to be here accepting this award. I can only hope that one day I am able to lead as successfully and brilliantly as they do. Last, but certainly not least, I connect with my family. I shared with you how my passion had brought me to Los Angeles after college. One of the reasons I moved back to Atlanta after a few years was because of my family. I remember my niece, who was little at the time, and how she's a senior in high school, didn't understand why I wasn't able to come home for holidays and birthdays. Missing these moments was hard. I'm grateful Atlanta has so many industry opportunities. I was lucky to be able to move back and work for TBS and TNT, where I could follow my same dreams, but be close to family. Now, I have 14 nieces and nephews with lots of celebrations and events that I'm grateful I get to attend. Thank you to my parents for taking me on that spring break trip to LA, for always supporting my dreams, including my dad for driving cross country with me 4 times so I would have a car in LA during a college internship at Lifetime Television and when I made the move after graduation for my first job. Thank you to my mom. I've never known a more loving and selfless person. Thank you for spending every day with my sweet baby while I'm working. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you to my incredibly supportive best friend, my husband, Sean. Thank you for cheering me on and holding my hand. You make me better every single day. I've known from an early age that I wanted to be in PR. I set out to achieve that goal, graduated college in 3 years, and moved across the country to start my career. Just like Kermit the Frog said, I heard the voice too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. I'm so glad I found my rainbow connection. Well, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Thank you.
Christina, thank you so much. Thank you for walking us through your journey, and what an amazing story of dreams and connections. Really appreciate hearing from you. Now, our second Rising Star Award honoree of the evening is also being recognized for their potential to be an influential leader within their organization and within the cable telecommunications industry. Please join me as we congratulate our second Rising Star Award winner of the evening, Monica Wilkins, Director of Credit and Account Services for Comcast Cable.
First and foremost, I would like to start off by saying thank you to women in cable telecommunications. Just a year ago, I was afforded the opportunity to present an award to my mentor on this same platform, and now I am receiving an award. It is so amazing how the stars align, and now I am on the receiving end. I am so full right now, full of joy, full of happiness. The reason why is because this moment is extra special for me. I won an award in the middle of a pandemic, but others are not as fortunate. We have so many people jobless, and we also have so many people that lost their lives due to what is going on in the world. But we, meaning all of you and me, are blessed to be here today. And for that, I am thankful for this opportunity. When I was notified that I was receiving this award, I learned that the touchstone that WIC was highlighting this year was connect. I immediately thought to myself, what has being connected done for me? I first thought about the summer of 2019. The reason why the summer of 2019 stuck out is because I participated in the WIC Rising Leaders program. And during that week alone, I connected with some amazing women, ranging from frontline managers all the way up to now vice presidents working for companies like Cox to Turner to Comcast. I could have easily walked into that program, learned the curriculum, and walked out a pretty great leader. Instead, I walked in with bright eyes and an open mind, ready to make a connection. I connected with my peers, now friends, to strengthen my network and strengthen my understanding of the industry. Because of those connections alone, when I need someone to bounce ideas across, I call them. When I am ready for the next promotion and need real, raw feedback, I call them. When I need someone to vent to, I call them. When I need someone to go to happy hour with, guess what? I call them too. A portion of the Connect touchstone also speaks to your support system. When I think of support, the first thing that comes to mind is my team. They are the ones that truly keep me together. And if you know me, I need some keeping together. They motivate me to want to be a better leader every single day. If you have a great team, you have a great thing going, and I have just that. We are connecting in such a manner that it's almost like they know what I'm thinking before I even open my mouth to speak. They work hard simply because they want to see me win. Can you imagine that? Having a team that is so invested in your success? You have connected on such a level that everyone is willing to go the extra mile to ensure the entire department doesn't fail. With a team like that, how can you lose? Whether they know it or not, they have gained a lifetime mentee, mentor, and sponsor, and I will forever have their backs. I cannot mention support system without calling out my immediate leader. Although she hates it, I must recognize her as well. She is the type of leader that will push and push and push and push until she cannot push anymore, and then ask you, just like a mother, do you know why I pushed you? I didn't know I could think this hard until I met her. I truly appreciate every lesson that she has taught me because this relationship has assisted me with becoming a better leader. Thank you, Rebecca, for all of the lessons that you have taught me, and I am looking forward to all of the future lessons that you will teach me. In closing, I would like to say thank you for this opportunity. It has forced me to not only step outside of my comfort zone by speaking in front of an audience that I cannot physically see, but it has also afforded me the opportunity to speak in front of my entire family, from Atlanta to Mississippi to Ohio. They are all here with me today to share this moment. I do have to stop and give an individual shout out to my mom, who is usually asleep by now, but she stayed awake just to watch her baby receive this award. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you again, WICT, for the award. It is greatly appreciated.
And congratulations to both Christina and Monica. Our next award category is the Mentor Award. The Mentor Award acknowledges a woman or man who has a history of investing in the personal and professional development of individuals within the cable telecommunications industry. This award can also, of course, be presented to an individual who has championed women's issues in the workplace, developed mentoring initiatives, and or consistently supported company or industry mentoring programs. This year's strong nominations also yielded 2 winners for this category as well. So please join me as we congratulate our first Mentor Award winner of the evening, Catherine Mitchell, Vice President of Product Development and Management for Cox Business and Cox Communications Incorporated.
Thank you for recognizing me with the Mentoring Award this evening and the concept that connections make our lives better. I would even assert that my connections are a meaningful part of who I am. I'm an introvert, so I don't have a lot of connections, but I truly thrive on authentic bonds with people. Each of those relationships is a mentoring opportunity, whether with family or friends or colleagues. I'm the mother of 5 children, so I created my own small core of connections. Children are the ultimate mentoring challenge. My husband and I started volunteering as a way to counsel and support children years ago. It was difficult to fly in and out of someone's life and make a meaningful imprint. So we decided to become foster parents. We adopted the first children that we ever fostered. Let's connect and commit. So our plan is 2 adopted children and 3 biological children, ages 11 to 35. As a parent, you learn that despite your best mentoring advice, everyone makes their own decisions and has their own path. You can coach, teach, encourage, love, but it's their dreams and commitment that matter. And it's wonderful when you can celebrate their accomplishments together. Sometimes their dreams are different than yours, but that's the tough part, coaching someone to be their best self. I think about all the people that poured the coaching, teaching, encouragement, and love into me, and I'm grateful. I hope that they can celebrate this award with me. It takes a village, and I want to be part of a community, not just of my children, but to those we meet along the way. We can mentor someone for a moment and teach them what we know. It doesn't have to be a lifetime commitment. We can simply pass along what's worked for us. That's the gift we all have to give. I recall showing up for a meeting when we were still having meeting and conference rooms. I took a seat along the wall and not at the table. Len Barlick walked in and immediately called me out. Why would you sit there? You need to sit at the table. I was embarrassed by my own lack of confidence, but I've never done it again. He took the time to counsel me. He didn't have to. Now when I see someone opt for the back row, I nudge her to the table because I might just know what she's thinking. There are also mentors like Jill Campbell that just let me come into her office and scream so that I could make it through another day. I hope that someone else sees my office in the same safe way. There are lifelong relationships, there are momentary coaching opportunities, and there are the mentor relationships that we cultivate. We've all had many of them. They often start out awkwardly with someone that you might not know well, but build into a 2-way conversation where you're learning as much as you're sharing. I am grateful and honored by this award. Thank you. It's a special treat to be recognized for doing what makes me happy. I have partners like my husband agreeing to adopt 2 children and encouraging me along the way. I have colleagues that have poured coaching, teaching, and love into me. And I pray that we will all share something of ourselves with someone else. Thank you.
Well, Catherine, thank you so much, and thank you for those truly inspirational words. We really appreciate it. Now moving on to our second Mentor Award honoree of the evening, also being recognized for having a history of investing in the personal and professional development of individuals within the cable telecommunications industry. So please join me as we congratulate our second Mentor Award winner of the evening, Kimberly M. Houston, National Business Development Leader for the Technology, Media, and Telecommunications sector of PwC.
I want to thank the WIC Southeast Board, as well as the members and judges of the Red Letter Committee for this amazing award. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with all of you, even as a virtual celebration. This is a terrific organization, and I enjoy every time we get together. The women I have met here are all fabulous. The industry is lucky to have them. I also want to congratulate my fellow honorees. In thinking about tonight's Connect theme, I had a chance to think about the many, many connections that I have made over the years. The people I've met, the jobs I've had, the community service that I have done, and truthfully, the success I've had. I cannot have done half of it without my connections. I thought I would share a few important things I learned about connections along the way. You probably have your own set of habits and rules, but these are the things that have worked for me. Perhaps the most important things I have learned in my career is that every person you meet at work, in the community, on the sidelines of your kid's soccer game, is potentially a connection. These connections are the people who give you a leg up at work, who get you into a new job, or maybe they're who are at the right place at the right time and who can give you the advice at the right time. You never know what you'll need or when you'll need it. And the opposite is true. You'll never know when you have to give or when. Having a network of connections keeps these things going strong. The second thing I learned is like the first. Make all of your connections durable. Keep in touch with the people who have helped you along the way and look for ways to return the favor. I have stayed in touch with every person who helped me in my career. Each of these people has provided me mentorship, friendship, and support whenever I called. They have championed my career and gave me a shoulder to lean on when I needed it. It's hard to overestimate the impact these people have had on my life. Your network is like a garden. It must be tended and kept healthy, and every once in a while, you have to get rid of a weed or two. It has to have variety. In fact, the greater the variety, the better. Take care of the little things. Remember names. Remember birthdays. Use what other tricks you need to do these things. Say thank you and use your manners. Handwrite thank you notes. Don't let something so important get lost in a sea of email. Pass it on. Mentor the next generation of women leaders. Bring younger connections into your circle. You have such important things to share, and you should also be willing to learn. You might be surprised what their ideas and perspectives may give you. You should give back. Get involved in your industry, maybe through groups like WICT. This is a great place to make connections. Get involved in your community. Volunteer, join a board. Giving money is important, but there are many, many organizations in our community that also need your talents and experience. And like all good connections, it's a two-way street. Giving back makes you better. It refreshes the thinking and brings you new connections. And finally, have gratitude. Show it often. I want to thank my family and friends for their love and support. As an honoree for Mentor of the Year, I would be remiss in not thanking some of my mentors by name. Liliana Nealon, Anu Gianti, Maggie Craddock, and Stephanie Milbauer-Sukup. To the Red Letter Committee and WICT Southeast, thank you again for this amazing honor.
There are so many tangible benefits that WICT offers in its partnership with Comcast, but I'll share a few of them. The first one is the network, the access to an incredible network, because when I think about who I've met in this industry outside of Comcast, I've oftentimes met them through WICT events or WICT learning sessions. Secondly, the opportunity to have our team members engage in leadership positions. And you can't always provide those leadership opportunities internally, but WICT does make those available through chapter leadership, et cetera. And also, speaking of that, the leadership development that WICT offers, it is a great supplement to the development that's available inside Comcast. And then finally, I would say that WICT is always in touch with really timely topics. So whatever's going on in the world today, WICT is able to break that down into topics that are of interest and build awareness for those topics in such an engaging way. I will always be a WICT member. And for all of those reasons that I just mentioned, that's why WICT and Comcast are great partners, and why Comcast finds WICT to be an incredible partner and ally.
All right, thank you so much, and congratulations again to both Catherine and Kimberly. Our next award category is the Horizon Woman to Watch Award. The Horizon Award celebrates a woman with a consistent record of professional success and job excellence. She is a strong strategic leader, a role model, and a significant contributor to the growth of her organization. So please join me as we congratulate this year's Horizon Woman to Watch Award winner, Melody Smalls, Executive Vice President of Global Human Resources for Allen Media Group.
I am honored and grateful to have been chosen to receive this year's Horizon Women to Watch Red Letter Award. This year's theme is around connect, and this characteristic could not be more fitting for 2020. This year, we have all had to be intentional about connecting with our loved ones, our friends, our colleagues, and our partners throughout the industry. COVID-19 hit us hard and fast, and everyone I know had to pivot immediately. Having made connections made this quick pivot a lot easier and without issue. We had to connect on matters that were out of our realm or comfort zone. Not only was I head of HR, I became the head of procurement, and in order to ensure the safety of our employees and talent, procurement of PPE and cleaning supplies were listed as our #1 priority. Who knew 2020 would bring such a task to our front door? While COVID-19 sprung upon us this year and has turned the world on its head, we also experienced civil unrest and political dissonance. It has also revealed the truest and most genuine characteristic for many of us: agility, resilience, high work performance amid a crisis, and genuine care for our fellow colleagues. People stepped up in ways that they never thought they would or could. I have had the awesome opportunity to connect with many peers and CHROs across many of Atlanta's top organizations to share real-time practices and resources that collectively supported the safety of our employees and community at large. This year has taught me what leadership in action truly looks like. I would like to thank the Women in Cable Telecommunications Southeast Chapter for this distinguished nod celebrating my achievement. Special thanks to Sherry McGoy, with whom I worked with and connected with on so many levels. She's a true partner and friend. I would also like to thank Natasha Pruitt, with whom I currently work with, such a great colleague and partner. I would like to thank Byron Allen, Tom O'Brien, and the Allen Media and Weather Channel executive team for believing in me and truly seeing me and my team as an important part of the business. I would like to thank my team, Rhonda, Terry, Ronnie, Shafali, Chuck, and Reese. They go through the wall every day, and when I know it is hard, they make it look easy. I would like to thank my husband, Art, for being my life partner, an awesome father to our children, my voice of reason, and for believing in me before I believed in myself. I would like to thank my parents, Tony and Roseanne. They are the catalyst to my success and view on life. They have always been supportive and continue to share priceless wisdom that I will always treasure. Finally, I would like to thank my children, Brooke and Ross. They are the true motivation for why I do what I do. When they were younger, my kids would always ask, "Mommy, what do you do at work all day?" My answer: I help people be the best they can be at work, servant leadership at its best. Once again, thank you, WICT, for this illustrious award. I am forever grateful. Thank you.
Okay. Melody, congratulations to you again. Our next category is the Catalyst Award for Women in Technology. This award recognizes a man or a woman in a technology position within the cable telecommunications industry who has demonstrated outstanding personal and professional growth and has contributed significantly to their organization or the industry. So it's my honor tonight to present the WICT 2020 Catalyst Award to Rose Chambers, VP of Construction Planning and Program Management for Cox Communications Incorporated.
Good evening. I'm so proud to accept this year's Catalyst Award for the WICT Southeast Chapter. It is quite the honor to receive an award for Women in Technology, since I was an English major who spent the first part of my working life as a writer and consider myself to be quite the accidental technologist. But I'm so happy my road led me here, because my work in technology has brought me more joy and fulfillment than I could have imagined. At a moment like this, you reflect quite a bit on your journey and the people who influenced and coached you. I'm so grateful that at every point in my career, I had people, men and women, who took that interest in me and saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. Too many of them to name here, but many of them continue to be the touchstones I rely on to this day. More importantly, I want to make sure that I'm providing that same lift and sponsorship to the talent around me. As leaders, it's so important for all of us to find those seeds of potential in the people around us and to coach them into what you know they can be. I was raised by a man who was the sergeant at arms in his Jesuit military high school, and all that implies. He taught me the meaning of courage. He was a Chicago guy, so he didn't call it courage, he called it guts. But he taught me resilience and adaptability, and to me, those two things are more important than anything. They teach you to reach, to push yourself, to step up to the opportunity that you might not be quite ready for, but that you know you can learn. His is the voice I always hear in my head when things get tough, and I know he would be bursting with pride today. I'm grateful for the people and situations I've come across in my career. I've learned I can do really hard things and that I can convince other people to do hard things, and I have many hard things left to do. I'm thankful to work for a company like Cox, a company willing to take a chance on talent and that deeply values diversity of thought, backgrounds, and experiences. This year's touchstone to connect feels more important than ever. In a world shattered by the impact and isolation of the pandemic, the ongoing struggles for social justice, the loss of some of our heroes, and the general dissonance that divides us, our industry is playing a more important role than ever in terms of connection. Whether it's the content we create to inform people or to provide that much needed entertainment and escape, the suppliers building our equipment and services, and the operators who are the heartbeat of that connection, none have ever seemed so critical as today. I'm enormously proud of our industry and the role we play in delivering life's most important connections. WICT, I thank you for your commitment to women and your dedication to making sure, as Ruth Bader Ginsburg would say, that women are in every place where decisions are being made. WICT is a jewel of an organization. The programming, experiences, and relationship opportunities you provide are beyond compare in any industry. A special shout out to my Betsy Magnus class of 34 sisters. Can I go right back to that? I'm sorry, 64. I think I just jumped 30 years in time.
Here we go.
Okay, yeah. A special shout out to my Betsy Magnus class of 60. Oh my gosh. A special shout out to my Betsy Magnus class of 34 sisters. You know you can't keep a good Betsy down, and I've got nothing but love for you all. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank my boss, Rob Smallwood, for nominating me for this award. Rob, thank you for the support you've given me and for your commitment to building an exceptionally diverse team. My deepest thanks also to Pat Esser and Kevin Hart, who model daily that commitment Cox has to their family of employees. On a personal note, I'd like to thank my sister for showing me what working in a male-dominated field looks like. My dad for telling me as a young girl to pick up the ball and run with it. My husband Jason for bringing me coffee every single morning and for being my biggest cheerleader. And finally, my daughter Katie for learning how to do her own laundry at a young age and being the reason why I always push myself to do better. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm truly humbled and grateful.
Hi, I'm Patty Donaldson with Cisco. I'm excited to congratulate all the Red Letter Award honorees today. WICT is such an important part of our industry and certainly such an important part of Cisco's training for our next generation of women leaders. Personally, I was able to be part of Betsy Magnus, which was quite frankly the best leadership training and coaching I've received in my entire career. I think WIC does a lot of great things, and several of those include the opportunities to network within our industry with partners, with customers, with our other technology vendors. But it also provides an opportunity to mentor young talent coming up through the cable industry. In addition, I think the leadership classes that are offered through WIC are just unsurpassed. We have taken a lot of advantage of those classes and a lot of young leaders through those classes, and it has provided really a boost for their career. So we are excited to be part of WIC nationally and WIC Southeast. We look forward to all the great things that WIC does and continues to do to promote women within our industry. And once again, congratulations to all the Red Letter Award honorees.
Rose, congratulations again to you. Our next and final and very special category of the night is the Inspiration Woman of the Year Award. This award honors a woman who has had a milestone year and has contributed to the evolution of the cable telecommunications industry over the course of her career. She is a visionary leader who is highly regarded by her employees, clients, and peers for career achievement. She's further recognized for her dedication to excellence and quality work-life balance. So with the highest honor of the night, please join me in congratulating Roxanne Cloutier, Senior Vice President of Enterprise Systems and Strategic Planning for Warner Media. Roxanne, congratulations again to you. And let's give one more big round of applause to all of our 2020 WIC Southeast Chapter Red Letter Award recipients. Ladies, well done. This has truly been a wonderful evening, and thank you again for allowing me to share in this inspirational ceremony for the WIC Southeast Chapter, and congratulations again on your 17th annual award show and your 40th anniversary. And now please welcome WIC Southeast Vice President Shelley Hoffman, followed by WIC Southeast Senior Director of Red Letter Awards, Jamette DeLauder.
Each of our outstanding honorees embodies the spirit of Connect. From the contributions they make in the corporate setting to their involvement in the community, they exemplify the definition of a WIC leader. Congratulations, Monica, Christina, Catherine, Kimberly, Melody, Rose, and Roxanne. We have come together for the Red Letter Awards for 17 years, and while this year may look a little different during these unique times, we honor WIC Southeast's Ruby milestone, our 40th anniversary. Congratulations on this remarkable achievement to all of our members and board members, both past and present. Thank you to Jill, Terry, Gail, and Maria for sharing with us how far we've come and just how much work there is yet to do. We are committed to change. We are WIC and we are a community, but we are here because of you. Thank you for leading the way. As we all navigate the new normal in our daily lives, one that continues to shift and reshape, I encourage you not to lose sight of the foundation that WIC can be for all of us, and to revisit our touchstones of leadership when you need them the most. Let them be your guide. Know yourself and what you stand for and where you are headed. Communicate with passion and poise. in writing and in person. Listen with more than your ears. Connect to your peers, your industry, and everything around you. Be a catalyst and set the wheels of change in motion. Be fearless and confident as you take risks and bring others along. Inspire, and others will follow. Happy 40th anniversary, WICT Southeast.
Thank you, Shelley. In addition to congratulating our winners, I'd like to thank our MC, Blaine Alexander, for so generously contributing her time and talent to make this event special. And I'd like to express our gratitude to our judges for taking time out of their busy schedules to thoughtfully select this year's recipients. There were many stellar nominees, and we really appreciate your expertise and active engagement in the judging process. Once again, we want to thank our sponsors for their commitment to WIC Southeast. Your support helped make this possible and means so much to all of us. Red Level Elite Operator Sponsor, Comcast. Red Level Elite Technology Sponsor, Cisco. Red Level Sponsor, Cox. Gold Level Sponsors, Warner Media, CommScope, Warger-French. Silver Level Sponsor, Discovery. Bronze Level Sponsors, Cortec, TV One, PwC, The Weather Channel, Up TV, Worldwide Technology, Aspire, Kate's Networks, Cats Networks, Friends of WICT Sponsors, Ridgeline Coaching, and Your Sweet Spot Coaching. Don't forget to spread the word on social media about tonight's event using hashtag 2020RLA. What an amazing event. Thank you to everyone for being here and celebrating with us, for sharing this special moment with our honorees. Hopefully next year we'll be back together in person, which we have already started planning for at the Georgia Aquarium. Please continue to visit us online at wicsoutheast.org and on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram for updates and events. Thank you and good night.